Hey kids, it's time for the Krusty Clown Show! These things are the greatest freaking things in the world. Alright, hey, today we're going to talk about power poles. Hey, we might have a special guest appearance from the guy that some of you love him, some of you hate him, but I'll tell you what, everybody knows him. They're so addictive. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to eat these things. I'm going to go into a diabetic coma and die right here on the camera. Fuck it. What else are we going to talk about today? Oh, you know what? Hey, we just had the ARRL DX sideband contest this last weekend, and I know some of you guys were telling me that you can't do DX on your KX3 with 5 watts because QRP is dead, the bands are shit, can't do it. Can't be done. Not so much, my friends. I did it. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you some of that. I know there's a bunch of guys there that were giving me a bunch of crap for running QRP on a D-Expedition, telling me that the conditions this year are shit. You can't do it. It just can't be done. There's no conditions. Today, we just started the ARRL DX sideband contest. I'm working 15 meters right now, huge amounts of signals, and I'm going to prove to you that QRP works. I've already logged a guy in Brazil, 6,500 miles away. That was my first contact, was this guy here, and I've already worked him. So I'm going to work a bunch of contacts on QRP. And I'm doing it, it's all antenna, baby. This is the same thing as a KX3. I've got no power running to it. It's running 5 watts right now. Okay, we're on 15 meters here. And there's my power. Power's at 5 watts. The amp is on standby. Kilo 6 Uniform Delta Alpha QRP. Kilowatt 6 United Delta America. 5 watts from California. Thank you for Manitoba. That's where we're from.
Very good. Thanks. Appreciate the call. Hope you have fun.
You too. Good luck.
Enjoy the 5 watts. Sounds good up here. IQRZ contest vector Echo 4 Victor Tango. Julie Alpha 1 with you. Kilo Papa 4 radiant vector contest.
Kilo 6 United Delta America. Kilo 6 United Delta America, 5 watts. You're 5'9", California. Kilo 6 United Delta America. United Delta Alpha. Copy the 59500. You're 5'9", California. I'm on 5 watts.
Great job. That's a great job for 5 watts. Everything.
73. Good luck in the contest.
Thank you. Everything. Kilo Papa 4 radiant vector.
Okay. We're gonna go for Chile now. This is where we've gone so far. Puerto Rico, Canada, Caraco, and Brazil. There you go. There's another one. It takes a little bit more time, but you know what? It's working. So while I'm sitting here trying to think of like one of the sexiest things that I could talk about in ham radio, I come up with this. Power poles. Anderson Powerpoles. These things are starting to become kind of ubiquitous That's a big word. Ubiquitous. Excuse me, what does ubiquitous mean? Hell, I don't know. It means everybody's starting to use these things. Anderson Powerpoles. These things, they rock. Okay, the Anderson Powerpoles are such a big deal now. A lot of people are using them. Almost all the manufacturers are starting to put them onto something. Getting a nice assortment of power pole parts and accessories is real easy. I buy mine through PowerWorks, and I buy all these ends and the connectors in bags of 25. They come in a lot of different sizes. You could get these nifty little dash inserts that'll put 4 power pole into one little handy deal. They come in different sizes all the way up to thick battery cable sizes there. Guys, when you're setting up your power poles, a good set of crimpers that are specific for your job are really necessary. This pair from westmountainradio.com features a bucket on the other side that holds the tip end of your power pole and keeps it from getting crushed in the shaft when you're mashing it down. And the crimp on these things is gorgeous. It is looks like a very factory crimp, and I've found I don't even need to solder most of my connections. These guys aren't cheap. They're about $40 through West Mountain Radio, but they are well worth it, and you're gonna really enjoy the crimps. Another little cool tool that I've seen is this little LED tester that I picked up again from PowerWorks, I believe. You put it in, and if everything is okay and the polarity is good, it turns green, lights up green. And if you happen to be like me every once in a while and like to put a black wire to a red wire or a red wire to a black wire, this little guy is smart enough to tell you that, hey, you've got a red light and you probably don't want to put a radio on that. Quick little flip around with the terminals there, and we plug it right back in to the proper ones, and we get the green light on again. So just how easy is it to build one of these power pole terminals? Well, let's just see. I'm gonna go ahead and strip a piece of wire here as a tester, and I'm going to cut off that little end. Okay, I like to twist my wires up into a nice little bundle. They fit really nicely into the little terminals. That all said and done, let's go ahead and put that little guy on there. We'll slide it on, and you can position it. If it was a red and black wire, you could position it however you want, but that's what it looks like uncrimped. It's really easy to put this thing in the right hole. Got to remember to put it in the right hole. Slide it in, snug it down, and then squeeze as hard as you can until it locks up. And then, hey, when you pull it out, you're going to have a beautiful factory looking crimp, and that thing ain't coming off for nobody's business. So once you got that beautiful crimp done, it's time to put the cap on it. And this is real easy. They just slide in and they push in until they click and lock. And that's it. Then it'll slide right on the other red terminal in the opposite direction, and you're done. Guys, this little thing from Hardin Power Supplies will turn your 12-volt motorcycle battery into a power pole distribution box. It features one 12-volt switched power supply, one unswitched power supply, both on power poles, and a handy little digital watt meter that'll measure the battery output. The unit is securely fastened to your motorcycle battery by Velcro. Hey, how simple. And for those times when you need a little more precision when you're measuring voltage, amperage, watt hours, and everything else, hey, I use this little Turnigy digital watt meter. This thing is very, very nice. Compact, about $50 from PowerWorks again, and it plugs in with your power pole connectors. You know, this thing is in my Radio Go box. I also keep one in my truck so I can just plug in real quickly, measure drain, measure charge on the battery, and it works like a champ. Yet another reason to have power pole connectors in your vehicle. Two more quick things from PowerWorks. First is the 30 volt switching power supply. Works very well. It's quiet, has 2 sets of power pole connectors on the front, and if that's not enough for you, you can also get another power distribution block and set them up in the back and power to your heart's content. So I'm using these power poles for a lot of different things. Really, really handy in the ham radio equipment. This is going to be a funny, great interview you guys would have loved to hear, but unfortunately it ain't gonna happen because the guy that I was gonna interview, who by the way, he's real prevalent on 10 meters, 28.425. Everybody hears him, everybody knows who he is. We were gonna do a little interview and it was gonna be cool. I thought this would have been a great thing to bring to the rest of the ham community. So I get this email from him finally rejecting my interview. He doesn't want to do it. Dude, if you would have just sent me an email and said, hey, you know what? Your show sucks balls, I would have said, okay, I'm good. Sometimes you get a rejection that is so epic, such an epic rejection that you gotta share it. I gotta share a part of this because it is so... It's not because the show sucks, and maybe it does. I will say this much. I did research you a bit on your QRZ bio page, and I understand you're a cop. I do not like them. I do not like them. I do not like them. He doesn't like cops. Strike one for me. I also found out that you are for the Second Amendment. As a cop, I figure you are because you're required to carry a gun every day at work. I'll spare you the gory details, but he's not a huge fan of the Second Amendment. Strike two. I found out that you were an avid de-expedition operator. If there is one thing that I dislike more than cops, it is a de-expedition. It is a de-expedition. I mean, it is nothing more than the CBification of amateur radio. And if there's anything that he hates more than cops, it's the de-expedition. Off with your head, you evil de-expeditioner cop, you. Hey, if you guys have something you want to see on K6UDA radio, let me know. Email me or shoot me a link or whatever. I don't care. Just get me some ideas. And if any of you happen to be manufacturers and you want your stuff reviewed on K6UDA radio, get a hold of me. I'm willing to review damn near anything. I'll review a pair of diapers. I know he doesn't like my videos, but if you like my videos, subscribe to me, like them, share them on Facebook, share them on Twitter, share them everywhere in the world, and I'll keep making them. So anyway, hey, from D-Expedition Cop Central, I'm Bob, K6UDA, and I'm out of here. Next week, we're going to visit a local ham swap, and I'm going to take over local television. What could possibly go wrong? Hey, I'm Bob from Good Day, Sacramento. We're out here in Loomis, and this guy here is really in my face.